sits there, and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm just looking at him, and I had no idea why I called him over, but instantly, I just looked up and I told him, I was like, "You know what? Um, I'm jealous and envy of you." And he just looked at me, and I said, "I'm admitting to this because I feel like I am blocking a relationship between us. I feel like I am projecting and hurting you and hurting myself because I see that you live freely and it brings you abundance and it brings you happiness, and people just naturally love that. And what gets me is that you don't do it so anyone can praise you, so anyone can give you anything. You do it because you want to." And that was something I was struggling constantly with, because I feel like I was giving myself constantly to everybody and it was never getting appreciated. But it was always this feeling of like, I never had that respect, I never had this appreciation, so I felt it was always lacking. And as I'm telling him this, I'm crying, and I'm just like, I just want us to heal. Like, I feel like I need to heal, and I want to apologize for anything I've ever said and done to you. I wish to become closer. I just want to I want to be your big brother. And he starts admitting stuff to me, and we just connected. And now it's December, and my strongest relationship other than with myself is with my brother. And he's come a long way also, and we love to reflect on the relationship that we have and how far we've gotten and everything before it and even to now. To me, it's a very sacred relationship. I also see him as a god and as one of my spiritual advisors. And he's younger than me, and he's not spiritual, but I see it from him. But that happens, and then I just have this overwhelming feeling of like, there's so much out there, and it's time for you to explore, and it's time for you to figure out what makes you you. And I took that and I ran with it. And it started opening up a lot of doors for me. Started opening up a lot of. I did so much shadow work. I'm still doing that constantly, but it's something I definitely want to bring up and do with people. I care about my relationship so much with myself that I want everyone to have this feeling of healing, and I want to be there for people. So, it's why I'm trying to offer these readings, and it's just not a reading with me, honestly, other than just a general reading. My element, like my healing and blockage and natal chart readings, those are, I'm not just giving you a reading, I also really want you guys to focus on what I can see in the map, or things you may not be consciously aware of, and to give you ways and to like to shine light on that, and also ways you can deal with it and to release it, because we are not here to suffer, and we are holding so much baggage from other people and constantly judging ourselves for shit that is not even true. That being said, though, I guess it started raising. I definitely raised my frequency, and it opened my mind. I became extremely spiritual, and I had constant like downloads and epiphanies and life changing moments of like very dramatic, but it worked. It's amazing. But I got out of a relationship out of 3 years that it wasn't serving either of us. But it's a relationship that definitely impacted my life completely, and something that led into the spiritual awakening. I recently, in October, I quit my retail job because I was happy to even get Walmart. I was just happy to get something in this pandemic, and after seeing how I was treated constantly and how I was seen like a rag doll because I could do everything. I was a very hard worker, but they weren't paying me my worth. I did not feel valued. And finally, after freaking like 5 years of retail jobs and being with people, I was like, you know what? This is no. And that same night, um, I financially freed myself, which is also going to be another podcast episode. But I financially freed myself, and I feel free. I don't care what anyone's views on it, but I don't feel restricted to the matrix and the veil of money and profit. And also, I guess to now, how far I've gotten from my awakening, I went through one more huge awakening, and it was this awakening of I am God. I am creator and destroyer, and I must maintain this balance. I literally went through a fucking ego death, guys. Like, it was fucking crazy. I was in my room, another shroom trip by myself. I actually really prefer to do them by myself. I actually get comfortable being in the realm of like the lower vibrations, the lower worlds, to really feel and to understand that, like, how am I supposed to heal and help the world if I don't understand how to actually overcome these things other than just to be aware of them. So I go through my ways about it, and I have helped a lot of people, and I will continue to help. But, I was in my bed, and oh my God, everything turned black. And it was like I was on a freight train, but with my body. And when I say that, I mean as in like my body lifted into space. I was trying to grab something. And when I mean something, I mean reality. It was literally like me trying to grab a rope, trying to bring myself back down to something I could ground myself to, and there was nothing. Like this space that my head was in, it was just like, it just opened. It's like, imagine yourself in your room right now. Look at the ceiling. And imagine everything just opens up to the point where, even your floor and your bed, anything you're on is gone. And it's terrifying. Oh my God. And then, I started shooting at maximum speed. And the anxiety I felt, I thought I was going to die. But later to learn that was anxiety, because the peak of what happened is that I died. And when I say I died, as in like my ego went through a death, as in I finally and truly realized that we are one, we are connected, that we are God, we are Father, Mother, Goddess, Source. We are a part of this divine being. And when I tell you, when I realized that, like this light just shot out of my body. This beam of light just shot out of my body. I broke in half. And it was intense. It was terrifying. But it was so beautiful. I was just crying. And when my vision came back too, I just looked at my hands and it was all sparkly and shit. And that's when I said it. I said, oh my God, I am God. I am the creator. I am the destroyer. But my goal here is to find the balance and maintain the balance of that. And when I told you I said those words, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I ran downstairs outside in my backyard. And I was just like, oh my God, like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like, I was just outside looking around. I was just feeling so light. And I was like, holy shit, I can just run down the street. I am so free. Like, I got to a point where I was like, who the fuck tells me how I'm supposed to live my life? Like, who makes these rules? Why am I even listening to these rules? Why is anyone listening to these rules? And who as you guys are listening to this, you guys may seem like it's a very just a chill conversation, because it is, but it's also very eye-opening. So people will take this as conspiracy theories. These people will take it as like mental illness, as a loss of touch or reality. But honestly, you can say what you want, but look, I'm not suffering here. I am not stuck in some reality of my own doing in negative form. I'm here expressing myself. I am here reaching out. I'm here and comfortable knowing that everything to me has a purpose, no matter what it is. And with that, that message to me was just so strong, and that's my message now, and it's part of my purpose now. Is that going through that, I started diving into more ancient civilizations, angels, divination, stuff I was not into, stuff I didn't really pay attention to like that. And I was like, oh, angels, yeah, that's cool. All right, like I get it. Like I'm not opposed to it. Oh, aliens, yeah, that's cool. Like no, I get it. But and now like I get instant downloads. I get even though this is just the beginning for me, I feel like I've been reawakened. I feel like I was doing all this stuff as a child, because my childhood was crazy when I tell y'all like that. Like my childhood, I was doing research. I was doing research on space, on nebulas, on cosmos, on oceans, on Egyptian mythology, on Greek mythology, on the natural disasters was my favorite thing. You know, this shit as a fourth grader. And then when I moved, I think that was my big traumatic event. But when I moved, it caused me to shut down. It caused me to just, you know, I went through so much. I lost so much. I lost myself, basically. And now, 21, and now I'm 22. But then, you know, me being 21 and going through what I went through, I feel like I was reawakened for a purpose. And basically, talking about my awakening leads me up to basically now where I'm currently standing. And I know this story may seem like it's all over the fucking place, but you know, it's how my life is. But where am I now? I am to a point where I feel very powerful, very grateful, very abundant, and very, very me. And my favorite person, my favorite source to reflect on and to always check back on is myself, because I am the complete opposite of what I was, but I feel so me. You know, I was very stuck in negative thought. I was very scared and living by survival mode, living by fear, and questioning and trying to control everything. And now I'm in a point where I can be me, and no matter what anyone says, no matter what's going on, I know I'm able to control and live this life how I'm supposed to live it, with my faith and my loyalty and my spirituality, and, you know, beautiful relationship within myself, within Goddess God, with divine God, within divine source, divine light, any goddesses, whoever you aliens, whoever that higher being is, like, you know, there is so much faith, love, and light into that. And the key to life is raising yourself in frequency to, or raising your vibration and energy to the frequency of love and light. And when I say that, you know, it's just something you have to experience. I can talk about it all day, but it's not something I can make you believe or make you understand, other than give you these words now, so when you go through it, when you experience it, you know what it is. You feel comfortable with it. You feel you can embrace it. You feel safe with it. But my awakening has caused me now, right before the Aquarius era, and be, you know, into the new year and into whatever's gonna happen, I can confidently say I know I'm here to be a spiritual leader, healer, teacher, influencer, student. I'm here to experience the human experience in life for what it is, and to help and to empower everyone. Like, I'm huge. That's another of my calling, is huge self-love. Like, the first relationship we're gonna work on, and the only one that's gonna matter, is the one within yourself. Because once that is stable, honey, trust me, you do not need me after that. Like, you're not gonna need, like, you're gonna feel so empowered with yourself that you're gonna have this calling to want to help others, and it's beautiful. So yeah, like, this is the beginning. Like, you know, I'm excited I'm even doing these podcasts, because honestly, media is something I did not want to get involved with at all. With what interests me, like something that has been calling to me, because also, you know, past life is something I was aware of, but I was like, you know, maybe that's not me. Maybe I'm not into that stuff. Bitch, I have had a few recalls and a few really solid knowings of what my past lives may have contained or are. So I do know I am part of a council, and that is part of my being now. I know I feel really